In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bet slate for Monday, March 11th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Monday slate in NBA March 11th. But before I deep dive into that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsThat'sD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. We're going to be talking about very, very soon. Right now, we are at the homepage of the YouTube channel here, and you guys are showing out and showing up in spades. All right, so I appreciate you guys so much. So far we killing it on the weekends. I've noticed that. But right now we're at 1.75 thousand subscribers. The goal is 2K. The goal is to get to 2K. Hopefully I tried to do a prize one time and no one really responded, so we'll see. I'll try to figure out if I can come up with a prize for 2K once we get to 2K, but that's going to be our goal right now. Get to 2,000 subscribers. We are very, very close, almost 249 subscribers away. Keep hitting that subscribe button, and you guys are showing up on these videos. So Sunday video, 1.7 thousand views. That was an absolute bombshell right there. And then on Saturday, 1.2. So continue to love and support. If you're already subscribed to the channel, the way you get to reach out to the YouTube algorithm, like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm. If you guys are not subscribed, just hit that subscribe button and support your brother. All right. Now, on to this Patreon I was talking about. Patreon, Sunday's Patreon, Red Hot Fire, okay? Red Hot Fire. We had Bucks money line. That came through. The only one that did not come through so far is the Kings. Kings did not come through. They lost. But we had Pelicans. We had Nets. I had Nets with the points, but I was like, hey, guys, I like the upset here. And what did the Nets do? They came out and destroyed the Cleveland Cavaliers by 19 points. These are plays, some of the plays I gave you in the video, all right? Listen, I'm trying to help you. Pacers, they outright won. I told you guys to take the plus 3 points. They outright won and beat the Magic there. And now we're just waiting on the Lakers. Hopefully that can come through, and we can have a 5 out of 6 night, all right? That's 90% right there. Come on, 90%? Come on, guys. Sign up for the Patreon right now. Get connected. We got March Madness. We got the end of NBA playoffs coming out. NBA Futures is going to be in there as well. NFL Draft. Yes, you can bet on the NFL Draft. All that is going to be in the Patreon. Sign up right now. First game for the Monday slate we got going on. Charlotte Hornets, 16-48, going up against the Detroit Pistons, who are 10-53. Looking at the odds right now, you can get the Pistons at a minus 175 on the money line. If you want the Hornets, you can get them at a plus 145 on the money line, with the point spread being at a 3.5. Total points is at 218.5 as well. All right. Public bet percentage here, 70% of the bets. Wow. 70% of the bets on the Pistons to win the game. 68% of the money is on Charlotte to win this game. Point spread is 51% and 58% leaning towards the Pistons to cover the 3.5. And then the total, 80% on the over 218 and 80% on the money over 218.5. Okay. Now, injury report here. We need to wait on news about Tre Mann. Seth Curry, Bryce McGowan, they're going to be out. Tre Mann is a questionable player here. He missed that previous game against the Nets. We do not know yet what's going to happen for him. So definitely monitor if he's going to be in or out in this particular game going up against the Pistons. If he's out, then we're going to see more Vasily Micic, okay? On the Detroit Pistons side for injuries, Quentin Grimes is out. He's been out for a while now. Looking at the previous matchups here, this is the third and final matchup between the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons. And the first game was an 11-point win by the Pistons. And then second game was another 7-point win here by the Pistons. So 2-0. Pistons are up in this 3-game series here. The total so far has been 210 in game 1 and 219. All right. You got the Charlotte Hornets coming off a win after a very long losing streak. Pistons just beat the Brooklyn Nets as well. And see, they got a correlation. They both beat the Brooklyn Nets there. But what we're going to go in this particular game here, we're going to take the points of the Hornets, 3.5. All right. I expect the Hornets to not get swept by the Detroit Pistons, by a team that has a worse record than them. I don't think they're going to lose to them a third time. So if you want to take the best value, or the safer bet, plus 3.5. If you're willing to ride with me, take that money line of the Charlotte Hornets in this game. They're going to get revenge and beat the Detroit Pistons, okay? And if we're looking at the over-under, I'm going to lean towards the under 218.5, okay? That's what I'm going to lean towards. But the play here, Hornets plus 3.5, Hornets money line. Let's move on to the next game. Next game, we have East versus West matchup here. Phoenix Suns coming in to Cleveland. Phoenix are 37-27 with the Cleveland Cavaliers as 41-23. Looking at the odds right now, Phoenix Suns are currently favored, but this is pretty much a pick'em game here. Suns on the money line at minus 120. You can get the Cavaliers at a plus 100 with the point spread at a 1.5. The total currently is at 224.5. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 69% of the bets coming in on the Cavaliers and 67% of the money on Phoenix. So it's opposite on bets and money there. Point spread, 71% on Phoenix to cover of the bets and 84% of the money on Phoenix to cover that 1.5. Total points, 67% leaning towards the over and 68% of the money leaning towards the over 224.5. All right, now looking at the Phoenix Suns, the injury news here, Eric Gordon is going to be out, but Devin Booker should be back in this game. Make sure you pay attention to injury news to make sure Devin Booker is back in the lineup, but he is slated to play in this game on Monday. All right, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Evan Mobley is going to be out for a week. Tristan Thompson is still suspended, and D-Wade is out for personal reasons. Okay, did these two teams play already this season? No, they haven't. This is their first matchup of 2, and this is in Cleveland, all right? So, who are we going to choose, all right? Cleveland is on the second game of a back-to-back. And I told you that with the back-to-back, things tend to go opposite, all right? So, in this game, they just lost to the Nets, all right? Just lost to the Nets. That's why you can probably see why the money's coming in on the Phoenix Suns, especially them getting Devin Booker back. But we're going to be riding with the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game, all right? We're going to go with my theory and see what happens. Cleveland Cavaliers going to take the point spread if you want to take that 1.5. If not, just take the money line, all right? So pick a matchup here. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers on the money line to bounce back from their loss against the Nets and beat the Phoenix Suns, all right? Next matchup, we have the Golden State Warriors, who are 33-30, going up against the San Antonio Spurs, who are 14-50. Looking at the odds right now, you have the Warriors at a minus 250 on the money line, with the Spurs at a plus 190. All right. Looking at the point spread, that's 6.5 on both sides for this particular game, and the total is at a 229.5 on the over/under. Public bet percentage here, 86% of the bet, 73% of the money on the Warriors to win. For the point spread, 53% of the bets, 62% of the money on the Warriors to cover the spread. And for the total, 73% of the bets, 78% of the money on the over 229.5. Looking at the injury report here, Stephen Curry will be re-evaluated on Tuesday. He will miss the game on Monday. But good news for the Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody will play on Monday. For the San Antonio Spurs, Devin Vassell is going to be fine. Victor Wembanyama will be back. We're waiting on news on Cedi Osman if he's going to play in this game on Monday. Looking at these two teams' previous matchups, all right, earlier in the season, they faced on November 24th. That total was 230 points, with the Warriors winning by 6. And in the second game on Saturday, Golden State Warriors lost by 13 points. That total was 239 points, all right? Now, our selection for this particular game, we're going to go with, my favorite play is going to be the Warriors money line, minus 250. That's a solid number there. The question is, are they going to cover the spread at a 6.5? The Golden State Warriors right now against the spread away games. They're 20-9 away. They're 20-20 as favorites. For the Spurs, they're 27-31 as underdogs and 14-14 as at home. All right, so I'm going to be leaning towards the -6.5 for the Warriors, and I'm going to lean towards the under 229.5 for the total. I think the Warriors are going to step up their defense and then pull away from the San Antonio Spurs. That's how they're going to cover the spread and hit that under number. But the best play, the one I'm going to give out, is Warriors money line. Next matchup, we have the Dallas Mavericks, who are 36-28, going against the Chicago Bulls, who are 31-33. Looking at the odds right now, you get the Dallas Mavericks at a -225 on the money line, with the Chicago Bulls at a +180 on the money line. Point spread here is at a 5.5 on both sides, with the total at 233.5. So a pretty high total there in this game. Public bet percentage here, 76% of the money, 76% of the bets, 81% of the money on Dallas to win, 71% of the bets, 86% of the money on Dallas to cover, and we have 61% of the bets, 62% of the money towards the over 233.5. Derek Lively is going to be back in this game for the injury report for the Dallas Mavericks. He's going to be back. For the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams, I don't know why they're showing him and Zach LaVine. They're going to be out for the remainder of the year with foot surgery. Torrey Craig is questionable as of right now. All right. So, I mean, he's really not much of a factor. He's not even a six man. He's more of a defender. But looking at the first matchup between these two teams here, Mavericks and the Chicago Bulls. That was early in the season, at the beginning of the season, 219 points in that particular matchup. Dallas won by 9 points in that game. So looking at the recent matchups, we have Mavericks on a 2-game winning streak, beating Miami and Detroit. The Bulls had a little of a nice stretch there, beating the Kings, Utah, Golden State Warriors, but they just lost to the Clippers, and they're coming back home from their 4-game road trip here. So this one's a little bit tricky, all right, because things are telling me not to trust Dallas, but looking at the numbers is telling me to trust Dallas. So looking at against the spread numbers, Dallas is 18-11 against the spread away. Dallas's favorites are 22-15 as favorites, and they are as away favorites. The Dallas Mavericks are one of the best teams in the league, 13-3 against the spread as away favorites. That's pretty significant there. Looking on the other side, though, as home underdogs, the Chicago Bulls are 8-5. That's a 61% clip on the cover. So I'm really torn here. I think I'm going to go with the +5.5. Give me the points with the Chicago Bulls. They already lost to this team once. I expect them to fight a little bit harder in their hometown at the home stadium at United Center. So the best bet here is going to be +5.5 for the Chicago Bulls. If I'm leaning towards the over and under, I'm going to lean towards the under 233.5 points, okay? In this particular matchup. Let's move on to the next game. Next matchup, we have the Toronto Raptors, who are 23-41, going against the Denver Nuggets, who are 44-20. Looking at the odds here, big odds here for the Nuggets, -1,000 if you want them on the money line. Yeah, obviously you're not going to take that straight up. You'd have to throw that in the parlay, and even then, that's not worth it. So we got to find value here. The Raptors at a +625 on the money line if you believe for them to win. Point spread is at a 13.5 on both sides, with the total at 225.5. Looking at the public bet percentage, 96% of the bets, 70% of the money on Denver. For the point spread, 67% of the bets, 70% of the money on Denver to cover. And we have 71% of the bets, 75% of the money on the over 225.5. For the injury report news, everyone is questionable right now for the Toronto Raptors. DJ Carton, Bruce Brown, and RJ Barrett are going to be Q tags for this game on Monday. You got to wait on news, see if they go to the practice so they can be upgraded to play on Monday night. These two teams already faced each other in December, and that was a Denver Nuggets win on the road, and that total was 217 points in that particular matchup. Now, the Raptors are on a 3-game losing streak. Nuggets are on a 2-game winning streak here, and this game is in Denver. So on the road again for the Toronto Raptors. and we got a big number here. So what's the value? I'm going to advise what I usually do in these scenarios with these big spreads. Take the first quarter point spread, take the first half point spread. I expect the Denver Nuggets to dominate in this game. If you're willing to take that 13.5, they should cover it. If you want to bump it down to 10, at least they get a double-digit win, that 9.5. That threshold right there, I have no problem going down to that and bumping it to 9.5 there. All right. If you're choosing the over and under, I would go towards the over 225.5. Denver Nuggets tends to put up big points. I made a mistake when Denver faced San Antonio and went towards that under. It didn't matter. They're just throwing more points on top of more points. So we're going to lead towards the over 225.5. But my recommendation, first half, full game Denver Nuggets. That's going to be a better number there. Or try to attack the point spreads in the first quarter or the first half. Last but not least, here we have the Boston Celtics 49-14 going against the Portland Trail Blazers 18-45. Looking at the odds here, another huge spread, minus 650 on the money line for the Boston Celtics. You can the Trail Blazers at a plus 475 in this matchup with the point spread at 11.5. Total points is at a 217.5. All right, public bet. Percentage here, we have no information right now on the money line of bets and money, so we're going to the point spread. 70% of the bets on Celtics to cover, 58% of the money on Portland to cover that 11.5. All right, now for the total, 75% of the bets and money towards the over 217.5. For the injury report here, Kristaps Porzingis will be out of this game on Monday. They're giving him a rest day. And for the Portland Trail Blazers, we have to wait on news about Jabari Walker and Jeremy Grant. But Malcolm Brogdon's going to be out for the next 2 weeks. All right. So other than that, Portland's pretty healthy. You got to wait on news about Jeremy Grant, their second best scorer between him and DeAndre Ayton and Anthony Simons. That's the 1-2-3 punch there for the Portland Trail Blazers. Okay. These teams are just their first matchup so far this year. They have not played yet. So what do we have to go off of? All right. We understand the Celtics are a very dominant team and they're on a road in this situation. Against the spread numbers, the Celtics tend to not really cover. All right. They're in the middle. All right. 12-15 as away against the spread, and they're 29-28 as favorites overall. That's including home games as well. So what I'm going to go with here, I'm going to lean towards the plus 11.5 on Portland, okay? I know it's ugly, but I think Portland can play tough, especially with Ayton playing. I have trust, but if Ayton is in there, Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons, I think they can squeak out a backdoor cover and get that 11.5. Other than that, if you're looking for other value, I would take the full game, just like Denver, because I think the Celtics are going to win anyway. Full game. First half and full game money line, okay? You can get a better number than minus 650. Put that in the parlay piece. I think they can win that way. If you want to get a better number than a minus 650, or if you're scared of this point spread, then I would go towards the first half and full game Boston Celtics. If we're touching the over-under at 217.5, I believe that number is too low. Give me the over of 217.5 in that case, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, if you want my final selections on the bets of each and every slate, if you want to get ready for March Madness, if you want to get ready for the NFL football draft, all those selections, sign up for that Patreon. That link is provided down below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and peace out.